What's going on, guys? Yes, it is. We are back on Learn Crypto, presented by Wyckoff SMI. My name is Nick Hellman.
I'm Todd Butterfield.
And this is where all content will be uploaded from now on. All live shows, all interviews, all fundamental reviews will be right over here on Learn Crypto. I think hopefully after this show is over, we're back around 2,500 subscribers. We need to build that community back up, get that network going, and here to help everybody out.
Yeah, sorry guys, it was a hard fork again. It was the last hard fork. There's no more allowed. So
no more forks.
No more forks.
This is what we're doing.
Fork no.
We got some interviews set up for you guys. Actually, me and Todd got invited by Digibyte to actually do a demonstration of their new iOS mobile wallet. So me and Todd do have to do a demonstration video with both our phones to show that the application works properly and that the transactions work as they're supposed to. And they're actually going to send that video to Apple, and hopefully that wallet will become available to the public here very shortly. So we got a lot of things on the horizon. Obviously, I've been in touch with developers, going to continue that talk with them. We got Electric Coin wanting to do a review still through Zoom, and we got a couple other coins. I think Red Coin also is in contact with me already, so we're just going to keep things going, keep things chugging along, and hopefully we all can come out of this standing tall and making a lot of money.
No doubt, for sure. Start offering a little more TA here. I know a few things I want to talk about because I've noticed some comments is, like on the course is finished. And that's why we've been selling it for, like 9 or 10 months or 12 months. I don't know how long it is. I have talked about adding lessons on the software for optimism, pessimism, force, and technometer. So those are coming. But I saw some comments that, we're selling a course that's not even finished. That's not true. The course has been finished. It's a good value at $299. The software, I did show the software live on air. The software is working, but still has some kinks. I'm still trying to get Vladimir to get those finished. The software is going to launch. When it does, I'm going to try to jump in way more TNA during the day and to really try to go hard on the Wyckoff. So, and I guess just to put anything to rest, is, on the other channel, 100% of the revenue and donations and super chats, etc., was going to the channel, and didn't want to give Nick anything, and then also myself. So obviously that wasn't going to work. I mean, Nick's got a full-time job, spends probably 2.5 hours minimum a day, Monday through Friday, trying to make this work. And he's on Twitter. He does a lot of work, like myself. And we're just trying to build for the community. So we're going to continue to do that. I heard there was a video out that's saying I didn't make a $1,400 payment. That would be true because I was paying a monthly salary. And since we're not together, I'm not going to pay this month's salary, obviously. And for last month's salary, we had some issues that cost me some extra money. So, once again, it's kind of about money because we had no real issues here. We thought we had a pretty good show. Nick's bringing a lot to the table. And Patrick Rooney says he wants his super chat money back. Right. So, we saw none of that. Nick's got to get something out of this because he goes hard. And Nick and I are just going to keep it moving. I mean, we know what we want to do here. And we both think there's still a bull market in these coins. And we're going to keep them moving. So we're here and appreciate any support.
Yeah, that's really it. We're just trying to build a community, have a little fun with you guys as well, obviously. And then, if you're putting in the work, you're hoping to see a little bit of return on the back end, whether it be through advertisement dollars, YouTube, whatever. Super chats are always appreciated, but not needed, guys. Of course, we're just here to bounce ideas off each other and hopefully pick the right coins so we all can all stack those bags here for the future. That's about it.
Right. And the other comment I saw too was, they're going to bring in the Elliott Wave guy. I do have an Elliott Wave gentleman working on the course. I've said that. He had a death in the family, and it's hurt him quite a bit, I know. So he's still working on it. We are going to get that launched. Yes, we're going to charge for it. I mean, it's all about business. So we're hopefully going to provide more value than what it's going to cost. But, making comments that we got a course that we're going to charge for, I mean, even with the Wyckoff course, I mean, I think at the $299, it's a good value. So nobody was trying to, it's about making some money. Obviously, it's more about managing money. It's more about making money with these coins. That's what we're all trying to do. That's why we're trying to do the PCG and everything else. So that's all it's about at the end of the day. And we built a good community here. I mean, Matt and I built a good community. Matt and Nick and I brought a lot of community too. So, you know, I mean, so it's sad. I mean, I don't want to talk much about it because I don't want to get emotional. But let's just keep it moving.
Sounds good. I guess we'll just run this intro that some of you guys love, some of you guys hate, and we'll jump right into this.
I haven't seen it in a while, so I want to see it.
Down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Everyone has access to the information. We just know how to analyze it better.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. You the man. Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag.
Had to triple my bag.
Wow.
Had to triple my bag.
Wow.
Had to triple my bag.
Yeah.
Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
Cool. Well, there we go, guys. I guess we'll just get started looking at the cryptocurrency market capitalizations. I will address Joe's comment over here. Joe Caesar, he says, so there was a bug in the Verge actual blockchain, yet a major company is going to partner with them. We'll talk a little bit about Verge here in a second. Obviously, you guys know that I thought the raise of the $75 million Verge just to announce a partnership was a little sketchy. They then did say that they raised that because they had to give that for the partner to come on board for Verge. And then there was a little bit of a slight technical code error where somebody was actually stealing some Verge. Verge did come out and say they did fix that error. So that's about all I can say right now. I'll touch it a little bit here with the tweets in a second once we get going.
What up, Javi?
So, you know, we're right across the market. We're currently sitting at $256 billion, guys. Yesterday, if you follow me on Twitter, I did say I thought we were in a short-term bull trap. So that did work out. Hopefully you guys managed to capitalize on that or just sat on your hands and didn't overtrade chasing green candles. Let's go ahead. Bitcoin's at $6,800. Ethereum's at $378. Ripple back down around that 50 cents where I had to buy a little, thanks to you guys, unfortunately. Bitcoin Cash at $642. And Litecoin down 11.73% at $117.88. Let's see what's doing good today. So Zcoin, shout out to Patrick Rooney. Let's get it started right. You're the man. I appreciate it. Patrick, I love talking to you over on Twitter all the time. So Zcoin at one point today was up like 113%. All right, so distracting. Anyways, Zcoin at one point today was up 113%. This was actually an error from CoinMarketCap. So whoever sent me that article about maybe CoinMarketCap manipulating markets, this is another red flag for them. So when you came over here to Zcoin and went to, it's still here actually, guys. You go to the markets, they actually have a link for Zcash over here and another one right here. Obviously, Zcash is way more expensive than Zcoin. So what happened is trading bots picked up that Zcash was trading for $196 on a separate exchange. Therefore, on Binance, started buying up because it thought there was an arbitrage opportunity. Obviously, that is CoinMarketCap's error, and they still haven't fixed it. Since that immediate 113%, obviously it has come back down, but you're still up 23% for the day. If you own Zcoin and you're wondering why it went up so much, I mean, you're still up 22% for the day off no news, off an error for CoinMarketCap that is still there. So you might want to look into taking some of those profits. Let's see what else is doing well today. I think Verge was up as well. Not so much anymore. Ontology, which everybody here at the community, if you had Neo, you got some free ONT. That's still rocking and rolling. And then Dragon Chain, I tweeted about when it was like 50 cents. I said anything below $1 for DGN has my interest. It's still been doing pretty good during this bear market, back up to 78 cents. So I guess we'll just shoot it over to Todd, let him do some charts for you guys.
Can you wrench Shado?
I sure will. And then I am doing a ZRX review today, which I know a lot of people in here would like to see.
And guys, I'm sure it's going to be still asked about, you know, what's going on here and stuff. And like we'd said, I mean, 100% of the revenue was going to the owner of the channel. And we just got we had an outside advertiser pay $4,500 for some advertising, and none of that was going to be shared with Nick and none with myself. And obviously that was hard to agree with. So Nick wasn't going to agree with that. I'm not going to let Nick walk. That wasn't the plan. And Nick brings a lot to the table, and he's a hard worker, and he knows this. He knows this, and he's crypto long term. So I wasn't going to let Nick walk. So basically, I walked with Nick. So that's all we can say. And people want to know why we even got back together, and I did that for the community. I thought it was still the best thing, all three of us. I mean, I think we were doing well on the shows. That's still, I'll miss that, but it is what it is. We're not going back to that, so we're moving forward. I don't know. We've got ideas of what Nick and I will do moving forward, but for now it's going to be him and I. We're going to jump in hard on the fundamentals and the TNA, and we're going to build this community back up. So. Here's the 2-hour Bitcoin. I don't think anything's really changed except we got way too deep again. We keep getting way too deep on all corrections. I'm not sure that doesn't mean we're still not going to work higher, but just with all the selling and the FUD, and people are tired of these markets. Because I had tweeted, as I'm sure everyone somewhat knows or been on the channel, I thought we had a 1-2 here, and yesterday everything started out correctly. And we shouldn't have overlapped this one at 7,100, which we did. So that kind of made this suspect. You still could count this 1-2 on some of the altcoins. It looks more like a 1-2. So if we hold here, there's still no damage, and we can still rally from here. If we go to new lows, once again, I think it just, it puts off the eventual recovery, but and applies more pain and more pressure and everything else. But I think, I'm still a fan of this area. So let's go over Litecoin at 118. It had a real good run to 136 or so. And I even know Nick tweeted up there that you could trade a little bit. I didn't, because I know everything was overbought. But on some of these, on a real move, the first few moves will become way overbought. And a lot of times will eat away at higher overbought. We have had another big pullback again with Bitcoin. Again, I mean, it still could be a 1-2 here. So it'll be interesting how we trade out the rest of the night. But, Litecoin did show some strength off that low. So hopefully it can be the one that leads us higher. NEO did about a 54. And then back down to the 46 and change. So, obviously, things looked a lot better 24 hours ago, but we're still trying to hold lows. There's Ethereum. That chart's easier to read. Once again, it's easier to put in one of these leading diagonal triangles again. So, that's why you might, we still might be doing a 1-2 like I've showed before on a lot of chart patterns. And that means we're mopping up the wave 2 down here. And if we go to new lows, it's going to be painful short term, but I don't think it really changes anything intermediate term or longer term. So.
Yeah, John West says, how long can we bounce around in this range? I mean, nobody really knows. Obviously, back in 2014, it was like a 1 year sideways. I don't think that's going to happen. I really, truly believe the next bull run is going to be starting here at the very end of April or in the early, first week of May is what I said. So I'm still shooting for that range. Will we see one more lower low? I mean, nobody really knows. What caused the dump today, nobody knows as well. I just kind of read it as a bull trap by the sentiment in the market and what I was seeing on the charts with the low volume. And that's kind of what happened. It kind of just petered out here, and it's holding its ground now. So we'll see what happens as China starts waking up and whatnot.
There's Dragon Coin, someone just mentioned. I knew that was had a good day too. I mean, we've had, about a 50% rally over the last day and a half or so. So that one much better. Then let's go back. Ethereum Classic. Again, just down here at this 14 level, quiet. What else we got? I know we showed up XVG. I thought that one was looking better the other day, and it did have a good rally up to, like 77 or so. So I still think that one can be all right if we can get Bitcoin to act a little bit better here. And what else? I got a couple little news things I want to do, but if you want to go ahead and take it back over and talk about
Yeah, do the
your
ZRX review.
report, and I'm
real
going to come
quick.
back with a couple more things I've got here.
Cool. Well, obviously from the title, you know we were doing ZRX. I know some people in this community really like ZRX and are holders. If Gary's in here, it might be a little late for him, but obviously he's the one who started talking about ZRX around these prices.
Gary's Thailand girlfriend landed today, so he said he's going to be busy for a month, so we might not see him much.
A month? Man, she keeps him busy.
Right.
She's got him cleaning the house.
We Skype a lot, but he said she had just landed, and he wished us luck, and he'll be in here, I'm sure, if he can get away.
Awesome. Well, for those of you who do not know, ZRX strives to be an open, permissionless protocol allowing for ERC20 tokens to be traded on the Ethereum blockchain. As you see right here on the coin market cap, it is currently sitting at 52 cents. At the highs, I think this thing was about $2, guys, several times. It's actually $2.40 up here. And it has a total supply of 1 billion coins. About half of that is currently circulating, and it's got a $272 million market cap. Currently ranked number 46. One thing I do always like about ZRX is the volume of trading is always pretty high. We're looking at $5 million worth of volume. Not too shabby, especially with volume across the market being down. So I kind of wanted to start off just by looking at the team. Obviously, I know people, before you guys get started, you're going to be like, oh, maybe ZRX to Coinbase. And maybe, obviously, nobody really knows. This is on my list. It checks a lot of those boxes for a couple of reasons. Number one, their team is pretty solid, guys. They got a nice team. But the one thing that gets me thinking about Coinbase here is look at the advisors. We got Fred over here. He's the co-founder of Coinbase. We also got Linda over here, who previously was a worker at Coinbase. And then we got Olaf here, who was a first hire at Coinbase. So we got a lot of people from Coinbase, current or former, that have interacted with ZRX. Also, Coinbase did just announce that they are going to enact ERC20 capabilities, which ZRX is. So that's pretty interesting, guys. If you guys do not know, Litecoin did get added. Charlie Lee used to work at Coinbase. He says that helped a little bit, but wasn't the final cause. So one thing to keep in mind, just want to do that before the entire chat starts spamming ZRX to Coinbase. So ZRX is an open protocol that is designed to offer a decentralized exchange as part of the Ethereum blockchain. Essentially, it facilitates the peer-to-peer exchange of ERC20 tokens in a secure, trustless, feeless, and quick manner through the use of Ethereum smart contracts. So what is the problem here that really ZRX is trying to solve? So when I do fundamental analysis on anything, I really want to look, hey, does this coin solve a problem? Is there a solution that the blockchain is needed to have? Some things just don't need a blockchain, guys, whether you want to believe it or not, and those ones go down to the bottom of the list. So the problem that it is trying to solve is centralized exchanges such as GDAX, Bitfinex, or Poloniex are vulnerable to hacks or security failures as well as transaction and trade fees. On the other hand, decentralized exchanges such as EtherDelta and Oasis solve some of these issues but are slow, illiquid, and bloat the Ethereum blockchain. So ZRX combines the strengths and avoids the weaknesses of these two types of exchanges. In the ZRX protocol, orders are transported off-chain, massively reducing gas costs and eliminating blockchain bloat. Relayers help broadcast orders and collect a fee each time they facilitate a trade, and anybody can build a relayer. So down here they got a couple big name people that are relayers currently. We can look at a full list if you guys want. All these coins are currently built upon ZRX protocol, and then these are all the relayers in which you can transact with to do decentralized exchange transactions with your ERC20 tokens. So that list is growing every day, and anybody can build on that, guys. So if you guys don't really understand how that works, so when you use a decentralized exchange, those transactions are occurring on the Ethereum blockchain. Therefore, you are relying on the scalability and security of that blockchain in order for a trade to occur. But with ZRX, they use a relayer where it's off-chain. They set up the smart contract for, say, me to trade ZRX with Cam Bryan over here. Once that trade occurs, then those coins go back onto the Ethereum blockchain like nothing ever happened, and you're not relying on the scalability of Ethereum, but just instead the scalability of ZRX. So it's pretty interesting how they got that going, guys. And really over the long term, if we bring more people into the ecosystem, this will be really necessary in order to keep up with scalability demands. Overall, ZRX has two main utility functions. The first being their governance, and the second being their relaying fees. So the governance, ZRX will allow holders to vote on changes to the ZRX protocol. This is a critical feature since relayers will want to upgrade the protocol and use the same ZRX contracts as other relayers in order to maximize liquidity. Liquidity is a very important problem that needs to be solved for decentralized exchanges. Otherwise, you have a really big gap in the buy and sell orders, creating arbitrage, and that's just not going to work. A governance mechanism decreases the chance of upgrade forks, allows an automatic upgrade of contracts, ensuring consistency across users, and therefore permits efficient upgrades to the protocol. And then the second value proposition of ZRX is the relaying fees. Relayers will host off-chain order books and matching engines to match orders of makers and takers. Makers and takers is simply just buyers and sellers on the order book. Makers and takers being matched using the service will pay a fee to the relayer using ZRX. Since a fee in ZRX will be paid for every transaction, the more transactions are being done on the ZRX protocol, the more value ZRX should have, theoretically. So overall, guys, the project, the team, the progress, and the execution all look to be promising. The network effect is in place for this project. The more usage the ZRX protocol and its relay exchanges have, the more valuable ZRX is. This is because investors prefer exchanges with heavy volume and lower bid-ask spread. This can be really seen and verified through Binance, guys. It's got the highest volume, it's got the lowest spread, and that's where all the users continue to go. Also, ZRX being added to Coinbase would obviously create a massive gains, but even if that doesn't happen, the fact that ZRX checks so many of the regulatory and due diligence boxes, at least for me, it's a pretty good sign for the future of this coin. Now, with all these, I do like ZRX, obviously. I am a little bit biased, but with all these, I just want to present the facts, and I try to find some negatives with it as well, and this coin does not go without having any negatives. So on a negative side, SEC regulations may have restrictions on exchanges operating in the U.S. or for U.S. citizens. This could potentially limit the usage of ZRX as certain ERC20 tokens may be considered securities here in the future. Also, as of now, ZRX only works for ERC20 tokens. If another smart contract protocol overtakes Ethereum in fundraising popularity, there may not even be much demand for ZRX going forward. So if Ethereum for some reason fails, and maybe Ethereum Classic or Neo or any of these other protocols we like, and ZRX doesn't adjust, obviously it is built for Ethereum, and if Ethereum goes, so will ZRX. So that's always a possibility. I don't really see that happening as Ethereum does have such a large market share, and they got Vitalik, and they're moving forward. Now, I do think some of these protocol tokens will eat into Ethereum's market share, but I still see a pretty bright future here for ZRX. It's a very unique coin that is really trying to solve a problem in this ecosystem, and I'm willing to put a little bit of my money into it, but make sure to do your own research, guys. And it's really hard for me to even say I like a coin that Gary said that people should buy, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. So that's the facts for you guys. If you guys have any comments, concerns, or questions, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section below after this video is over. Make sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe button as well, guys. We're trying to build this community back up and keep doing these things for you. I think Todd's going to go ahead and take a look at the TA on it.
Yep, we got ZRX USD. I put an uptrend channel on this yesterday. We've been stair-stepping lower with lower lows, lower highs, so it definitely still has some work to do. Gary had mentioned it back down at these levels before. I think he was mentioning around 5. I picked a little bit up around 6.5. And I guess as Nick said, I think there's some value here, but we've got to get these alts acting better and get some money come back into this market. And with that in mind, I tweeted earlier I retweeted one of them, but Ariana Simpson is a early stage investor and does a lot of startups, etc., well known in the game. And I retweeted one of her tweets, but I wanted to mention 3 of them. She says, when I talk to people who are planning to invest in crypto, and now they're not purely because the market is down, she's thinking that doesn't make much sense, which I would agree. If you like something as an investment at an expensive price, you should like it more at a lower price, not the other way around. I'd like to agree with that. And I've had like 3 of these conversations today, starting to think most people should do the exact opposite of what they feel inclined to do as far as investing is concerned. And I would agree with that. So, at the highs, it's easy to buy. It's easy, take money from this investment, throw it over to cryptos. And now it's impossible to do that. Everyone's been beat up, stressed out, wife's on them, et cetera, whatever. Partners are on them. So, and even husbands could be on the wives, so who knows. So I just think we got to keep that in mind, that some of these prices that came down, if you do your research and get the right coins, I think you're going to be very happy as we look out from these levels in the very near future and in the long term as well.
Yeah, Jim said, Nick, it's not a coin, it's a token. Tomato. Yeah, I know it's a token asset versus coins are usually just the currencies. Also, going back to what Todd just said, yeah, the down markets are really where the work should begin for you guys. This is when you have an opportunity to really accumulate some of the coins you like. Go back and do some research on some of the coins that you've recently or in the past have bought into your portfolio. Make sure the fundamentals haven't changed or they have gotten better. And that's when the research happens, guys. When everything's going up, I can come up here in the show and be like, I like Trump coin, and it's going to probably go up 20% tomorrow, so I'm right either way.
Right.
But really, in the down market, you got to start getting the real winners, because those are the ones that you're going to see, like Dragon today, who's up 25%, or Verge that's been going up a little bit, or whatever. Those are the ones who are going to be strong, especially when the market turns around, like we saw with Litecoin and some of these other ones yesterday.
And I think, it's... I guess I'm reading too many things here, so... I mean, I think you just got to, long-term investors, I think, that have had success with this, they're hitting me up and they're kind of like, hey, I know it's rough, stay in there, just continue to do your best, don't worry about it, et cetera. And then you've got, the people that maybe were a little more newbies, a little more over-invested, bought the highs, et cetera, and they're the ones panicking, upset, mad, et cetera. So I've had my share of PCG clients unhappy. I have my share still happy. And I have the share that just want to dig in or adding money, et cetera, waiting for the next, next bull run. So I think we'll get that. So I think you just got to, try to be prepared for that emotionally, because this game's horribly emotional.
John West says, market manipulated by YouTube and Twitter. I could agree with that to a certain extent for sure. When we, a month or two ago or whatever it was during the bull market, anything McAfee said immediately blew up because people locked their bots onto his Twitter. And then also for YouTube, that's why sometimes I come out and I kind of put a contrary point of view on some of these coins. Like, I'm not going to say, you guys know who the shillers are on YouTube. I'm not going to say their names, obviously, but when a coin is still in ICO phase and you're claiming that's going to be number 5 and you get all these people hyped up and all these people who really believe in you and what you're doing, that's not what we want to do. We want to be transparent, present the facts to you. If there's pros and cons, present both the sides and let you make a real educated guess and educated investment, not just shill it because I own a lot of it. And I hate when I see that on YouTube. And usually I send a tweet out about it, just showing some of the negatives of the coin or trying to reel in a little bit of the hype.
Mike Grohl said there, are you hearing about wallets accumulating more Bitcoin instead of selling, and also some OTC purchases? I don't know if you want to comment on that, Nick, but I will real quick, because I'm hearing that there's a lot of OTC purchases. There's a lot of overseas interest in big quantities of Bitcoin. So, I think, once again, I just think, and as Tom there says, I mean, this is unlike any market in history, moving warp speed and a lot of emotion. So it is a learning process, even for somebody who's done it for a long, long time.
Definitely. I guess I'll grab the screen real quick. I want to touch base on Verge, I guess. So what they said here is this came out that Verge was actually having some kind of attack. Due to several bugs in the XVG code, you can exploit this feature by mining blocks with a spoofed timestamp. When you submit a mined block as a malicious miner or pool, you simply set a false timestamp to this block 1 hour ago, and Verge will then think the last block mined on that algo was an hour ago. So what this was doing was just clogging everything up, and or one miner or one pool is able to get every single Verge block reward, which is obviously what you do not want in a decentralized product. If we come back out here, Verge did come out and say we had a small hash attack that lasted about 3 hours earlier this morning. It's been cleared up now. We will be implementing even more redundancy checks for things of this in the nature in the future. So, I mean, so there was an error in the code, guys. Apparently, they did fix it. So, no FUD, that's what happened. Or they claim they fixed it. I don't know. I'm not a developer, guys, so I'm not going to sit there and look at all the code and make sure that the developer fixed the proper line of code. I can just take with a grain of salt what they say and what other developers are saying. So you can kind of make your own decision on that, guys. I know they are still planning to announce their partnership here in a little bit. They're saying it's going to be a huge partnership. I currently do not own any Verge. I sold all my Verge after the first pump when they said they needed 75 million Verge donated. That's not really the type of project I want to be involved in personally. And there's plenty of good investment opportunities in the space. That's about all I got on that.
You want to bring it back to me? Someone just asked about doing a Bitcoin daily, weekly, and monthly. So here's the daily on Bitcoin, and I've obviously had this marked up. I'm going to leave the marks on here for a minute to show. In the blue, we had the 1, 2, 3, and then we're trying to figure out this 4, whether that was at the A or whether it's going to be stretched out here for a lot longer. In the beginning, I thought this was the 4, so I thought we would head much higher quicker, which obviously we've not done. That's why I've been probably holding more than I am trading. And then you've got here on the red, you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this last 5th really extended where we had the blow off top. And then we came back down to the previous 4th wave support. So that's why with the daily in front of me, I mean, I just think we've done the 1, 2, 3. We've came back to previous wave support. The 4 is done, and we're going to ignite to the upside, or we're going to go sideways here for a few more months and then ignite to the upside. So that's the daily. Then once again, let me take away the drawing tool so you can see a little bit more. So there's the daily. We're going to go out to the 1 week. This is at Trading Views. So this is what they're going to have going back really just to 2016 is all we got here. Late 2015. And then you're not going to see much difference, obviously, then in the monthly, the 1 month chart. So big rally, massive decline. And I still think we'll put it together and come back. So let me bring that back.
People are saying if there is one more lower dip, where do you think the resistance is at, or where do you think
the support on the downside? I mean, I'm still thinking the 58.50 low is good. So even if we would drop a few more hundred here to a new low on this move, I still thought the 58.50 was a good low. I thought that was emotional sell-off and basically a climax. So I'd buy anywhere, any break to new lows.
Somebody also was wondering if you would want to take the time after this is done to do TA on RVN.
RVN?
It's over on Crypto Bridge, I think. It's called the Raven coin. It has a pretty short history here, guys, and really it's a GPU mineable currency that was created. I've kind of seen mixed reviews on it. But I know a lot of the miners in YouTube at least are kind of pushing it because they are able to accumulate a lot of it. So right now I think it's too early for me really to look at it fundamentally, but maybe Todd can find some on the charts if he can even access it.
Do you have a chart up?
It's on RVN. It's on Crypto Bridge and NANX only. Do you have access to those exchanges?
I don't have them up here, no.
Nope.
RVN, I mean, I'll make a note and look at it in tomorrow night's show. RVN, V as in Victor?
Yep.
All right.
Cool. Guess you can just look at a few more charts. If anybody has a chart they want Todd to look at, we'll do a few of those, and then I got a couple news stories, and we'll see what's going on in the chat box.
And once again, yeah, Matt's not on this channel. Matt, I'm sure, is going to be still over at Crypto News. Okay, Trading View. Hold on a second.
Somebody wants you to look at DGB, Verge, ONT.
I was going to look at trying to find Bitstamp. Trying to find a Bitcoin. having troubles finding that one to go back to 2012. I'll have to catch that another time too. You say looking at power. We haven't looked at that one here in a while. Well, it's hotter than unbelievable in here. What's going on?
I'm gonna crack the window.
I had to crack some, but here is a power USD. That's the daily. Not really much here. You're not really a selling climax here or nothing on the daily. Some volume came in on this sell-off, so that could have maybe been a little bit of a selling climax here. Automatic rally, secondary test. A little lower spring. Volume is still high, so I can't really see much good about the daily power. And that's at Binance.
So I want you to look at Zencash, DGB, and maybe Verge. Zencash has been on a tear, guys, ever since I did that interview where we had some kind of almost inside information where the founder actually told us about 2 new products that they were coming out with before anybody else. They actually just did a live YouTube video today where they mentioned those products officially to the public market. So hopefully you guys had a chance to watch that interview. Make sure to watch the interviews that we do here in the future, because I am going to ask some questions where more founders and devs might just tell you a little bit more than is available to the public currently, you know, about new projects, this and that. So it's pretty interesting.
And that's what Nick was trying to do with crypto news, you know, is if he gets out here and does enough of these, gets well known, I mean, we're going to get a lot more connection with these developers and build that back and forth, you know, with them. So we're kind of excited about that and was excited about it.
And I think a prime example.
Nick's going to go a lot harder.
I think a prime example is that is I did the Digibyte interview with Josiah Spackman over there, and now we're in contact all the time. And like I said, he just asked us over here at Learn Crypto to do a demonstration of their new mobile wallet that isn't not available for the public yet. And they're going to use that video to send an application to Apple in order to get that added to their iOS store. So that's pretty cool. Just to be able to participate in some of these things and really see the back end of some of these coins and present the fundamentals to you guys for you guys to make investment decisions or use case decisions. That's what I'm here to do.
Here's a 1 hour. I mean, you can easily look at a little bit of Wyckoff here. There's a lot of volume coming in, selling here and also here. So whether this is preliminary supply, this is the selling climax, automatic rally. But definitely as we came under pressure here, I mean, we keep testing these lows and then had a nice sign of strength kind of inside this trading range. So I can't really put a creek on here because really you'd still be looking at resistance here. But this would be a first sign of strength and a backup. So, you know, so, or you can call that being the creek. We've kind of jumped it and we backed up to it, and now we're ready to head to the upside again. So that could be, you know, that coin looks way better than a lot of these. So, and Sherry just subscribed. Thank you for that very much. We'll take all the subscribers we can get.
Yeah, we need to build this community back up for you guys. And really, whether it matters or not, a lot of the times these devs and stuff, they're going to be looking at the subscriber count to whether, you know, it's worth their time or not. Because we're not asking for funds from any of these guys. We're literally coming on here. We just want some of their time. We want them to retweet about our channel and about the interview. And that's it. So that's all we're trying to do. If we ever get paid for an ICO review or anything like that, I'll be the first to tell you guys that.
Ryzen wants to know, I think he's talking about up here, this little badge. Does that look like Rocket League? Because that's my dash lane.
Yeah, it looks like Rocket League.
Yeah, that's my dash lane. It keeps track of all my passwords across all my computers. So if I'm home, etc., I can catch up on everything. And that also reminds me when I mentioned home, because I think people are wondering with all the PCG clients whether I wasn't trading them actively because I don't have the time or whatever. And I'm going to inform you that the last 90 days have been hell for me. And I was here the whole time. I didn't even go home to see my wife. So I kind of live and breathe this. So I've had less fun than anybody on this channel. And if I could work harder and change that, obviously I would. So I've struggled here, but as I keep saying, I'll still be here. I'll get back in my groove. These markets will get easier. And wake up, you know, a year or two from now, it's going to be a way different party going on here.
Max Expo says true at Cam was just focusing on coins associated with IOHK and Charles Hoskinson. I'm not sure what Cam said, but I don't think you were going to go wrong with anything IOHK is working with, guys. IOHK does have a partnership with Zen. Charles Hoskinson did tweet out that he thinks that his favorite privacy coin is actually Zen Cash, which is another interesting thing. After Charles Hoskinson tweeted about that, Barry Shilbert, who is also a big name in the funds for cryptocurrencies, said, I could agree with that. So there's a lot of big people who are believing in Zen and what they're doing here for the future. Also, you can't go wrong with ADA, in my opinion. And you know how I feel about ETC, especially after they had the full code rewrite from IOHK. And now they're trying to do sidechain capabilities with ETC and ADA together. So they're really trying to make real-world use cases, not just have vaporware, not just here for the gains. I know we're all here for the gains. But over the long run, the coins that actually have a use case are the coins that are going to go up in value.
Thanks, Arthur. We're glad we helped you. Cryptonomics software. I ran the software live on the channel. I mean, it has been working. The last hiccup was bar chart has the crypto data Friday, Saturday, Sunday is all lumped together showing us Friday. So that has caused me issues because we keep track of 5-minute data daily, come up with the daily number and then chart it. So Vladimir and them's been working with that. So if bar chart would have gave me the clean data they promised me back in October, November, whenever it was, I would have had no issues. I probably would have traded better. And, my hands have been tied. I'm trying to get that fixed. I will have that software. Hopefully I will trade better when I get it. And we'll let everybody trickle back in. So, I do the optimism, pessimism, force technometer. That's what I've had an edge with. I've not had that here from day one. Now it's been over a year. But all I can say is I'm working on that. It's 39 exchanges. I'm not getting any cleaner feeds from anybody else. We're blazing trails, and because of that, there's too many issues. So I want that fixed ASAP. Coinigy told me, last November group trading was coming by the end of the year. Now they tell me they have no answer for me on an ETA. So I'm on them again. So I'm trying the best I can. So like I said, I'm having less fun than anybody here the last 90 days. So.
Apparently, I accidentally said Barry Shilbert instead of Silbert. No, I did not mean to say that. Maybe that's just because I see his name spelled both ways so many times over on Twitter. Also, Patrick said basically bought ETC at the top, expecting a big pump from the airdrop, but now holding bags. So hopefully, at least you got your Callisto airdrop, which still is not available on any exchanges yet. And yeah, I still think ETC is still good for the long term.
But you're right, James. There's these exchanges, because I tweeted that a while back, and maybe even Nick did, that, the exchanges are, if they don't charge for trades, then people are just spoofing it and throwing up numbers. And some of the exchanges are doing some, trying to make their own numbers look better so more people come there. So, yeah, again, this is the wild, wild west. We can only do the best that we can. And hopefully, I'm sure on down the road, API quote feeds will probably be a lot easier, a lot cleaner, especially as some of these exchanges get closed down and some of them start doing bigger volume. If we had 3 or 4 exchanges that was giving us 85% of volume, it'd be pretty simple. So, tough out here. OMG, somebody mentioned that. There's the 4-hour on OMG. Hopefully, once again, testing these lows here can get something going. And ADA USDT, not much to talk about there. Hot coin that really is pretty much asleep down here.
Cam Brian, just go ahead and DM me, and I'll help you through the process to see if you can claim your Callisto or not.
Keep hodling, it's coming. So, and I appreciate all the support. Yeah. We'll build this back up and keep this thing rocking.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to, I think at the high, we had a little over 100 people in here. Obviously, there's less and less people watching YouTube with the markets down, and a lot of people don't know we're over here. So make sure just to follow us on Twitter. Both our Twitter handles are there.
Retweets would be appreciated.
Retweets. we just got to try to build up this subscriber count back to what it was and do our thing over here and hopefully keep providing new and good content for you guys. I continue to want to do reviews and interviews, and one of my buddies hopefully can clip up some of these live streams. That way we have some shorter videos for some people who don't catch it live and just want some of the overall solid content as far as the reviews and some in-depth TA. So I know Todd said he plans on, since we're not doing morning show, maybe going live in the morning here or there or releasing pre-recordings of some in-depth technical analysis. And I hope to be doing some of the same with interviews and reviews as well.
Right, and I'm willing to do that, want to do that when the software gets more reliable, but I can't be giving out data on software that I just kind of 100% state that it's reliable. So just doing what we can.
J Max says, Nick, any news on ETC, Neo, Quantum, or any of your faves? Neo, no real news. They did just finish their dev competition, and they have a lot of meetups and presentations to do, just like anybody else. I think Neo is very undervalued, guys. I mean, anything under $100 for Neo, I'm liking. Obviously, that's not looking at a chart. That's just from a fundamental perspective. None of the fundamentals on Neo or Litecoin change for me, and I really think that they're long-term holds. I really thought both of them could be 4-digit coins by the end of this year, and I'm going to stick to that as long as we get a bull run starting up here. I think a lot of investors will flock to those. And Asia really runs these markets as far as China, Japan, Korea. So a lot of the projects that are, you know, the child of those countries are the ones you got to keep an eye on because they're going to support those projects first. Neo is obviously from China. ICX is from South Korea. So those are ones to keep an eye on, guys. A lot of trading value comes from those countries.
Stock market has had a crazy day, opening down huge and bringing it all the way back. My indicators are probably still neutral on the stocks. So I don't know about the stocks. I'd want to, keep that open on a daily basis. And since we are at Learn Crypto, Wyckoff Stock Market Institute, I mean, we've talked about it, and I probably need to do it. A lot of people, I'm sure, on here, a lot of people I run into got 50 or 100,000 in cryptos, and they got 400,000 or $1 million over in the stock side. So I'd like to try to be able to give some advice on that with the Wyckoff. So we might try even to throw that in here, once or twice a week. Jump more on stocks, whether we do it on a separate broadcast or throw a little bit on here if somebody wants to. I just don't want to bore people in the crypto space with any stock ideas.
And I think that's really all about we got today, guys. We just, we wanted a short video. I think we're almost around that hour. We just want to get back on here, let you guys know that this is where all of our content will be from now on. Stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter. Both our Twitter handles are right there. Like I said, hit the like, share, subscribe button, and let's build this community back up, guys. Obviously, I'm going to start doing Twitter polls again to decide which coins I will review, and we'll just get this thing rolling.
Maybe we'll get McAfee on here, too. That might help.
Yep.
Thanks to Eric Hosman for subscribing as well. And I still think Litecoin here at 118. I guess I don't think you can go wrong having Litecoin here at 118.
There we go.
Matt's not here. Matt's still going to be over crypto news, I'm sure.
And without further ado, that's all we got, guys. We will see you tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central Time sharp. If the YouTube notification doesn't work, we will tweet it out. So make sure to stay tuned.
All right, guys.
Oh, hey, stay positive, pal. Most people, when they lose, they whine and quit. But you got to be there for the turns. Everybody's got good luck. Everybody's got bad luck. Don't run when you lose.
Play hard, play clean. Be careful out there.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.